Good shot, kid. I think you got him. Good shot, kid. I think you got him.
Hello there, and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Today we'll continue on Let's Play, and this is episode 16. In today's episode we are taking a look at the unique stunt jumps here in Los Santos, and before we begin I must quickly preface this is not required for 100% completion in San Andreas. It was in the previous games, it is not in this game. I'm doing this purely just to show it off because I'm sort of doing like a 105% run technically, and well, at the end of doing this I really wish I hadn't, because the unique stunt jumps in San Andreas are complete awkward bastards. I do recommend using the NRG 500 motorcycle for this, of course we've shown it off previously, but in case you forgot, it is here in this car park in East Los Santos. There's one on the second floor, and then there is one on this top floor here. So make a note of that. You definitely need an NRG 500 for some of these jumps, and it's just easier to do all of the jumps with it. You get $500 per each jump you do, and there is 70 total, with 24 of those being in Los Santos. Jump number 1 is here in Ocean Docks between the bridges. Simply jump this wooden ramp and come onto this structure. There you go. $500 earned. Some of these are really easy. Some of these are absolute fucking nightmares. This took about an hour, I think, to get all 24 of these. It was insane. Anyways, jump number 2 is up some stairs with a bunch of these sort of low-story warehouses. Simply jump across to the road, or rather this sort of pavement, I guess, and that ends up completing that. Jump number 3, in case you didn't know where jump number 2 was, I sort of confirmed it a bit more in the footage for number 3, because you essentially just have to do the opposite. It's jump number 2 but in reverse. Jump over this, you've got to jump over this sort of little bit of like a lip road type thing, and essentially crash yourself into these warehouses. I think the sort of landing zone for that one is pretty loose. Unfortunately, the landing zone for this one is not. Jump number 4, Los Santos Airport Freeway, up a ramp. This one is an absolute bitch to get. You essentially have to land exactly there on the sort of sidewalk part, because if you don't, it will fail. That was not a fun jump to do, and that basically set me up for what the rest of this session would be. So, some of these jumps are inside LSX, and of course you can't gain access to that until you have a pilot's license. To gain access to the airport, I'm sure everyone knows this by now, but just in case you don't, simply hop up onto the roof of the guard's tower, run back through the gates, and then you can bring the NRG 500 inside. So, yeah, a relatively easy one. Unfortunately, you can't do the jumps with a dodo. That would have made things a lot easier. Jump number 5 requires a hell of a lot of speed. You've essentially got to hit the board that says 06L2 at the end of the runway. This one took some time, and this one will eventually cost you a bike, because you do a lot of damage on the landing, but I think the idea is you're supposed to pass it. However, I could not get enough speed to pass that board. I have no idea how anyone could. Jump number 6, this was a fucking nightmare because the airport isn't open. I kept having to get NRGs out of this one. It's up some stairs at the corner of LSX. You essentially need to land near this walkway. The problem is the game would like to eject me from the bike, and usually it would keep the bike inside the airport, which isn't useful. So yeah, also there's a police car on its roof. Don't ask why that happened. Jump number 7, fortunately a lot easier, is at a dirt mound here in Willowfield near the Ocean Docks Bridge. Simply take the jump, and instead of going over the bridge, you sort of land slightly past where Ocean Docks begins, this sort of fence with these warehouses. Pretty straightforward one. Also, make sure to keep an eye on your health during this. It is very possible to die from the amount that you're going to probably end up falling off your bike. Another absolute bitch of a one is this one here in Willowfield. It's essentially off some stairs inside this industrial park. You need to land exactly as I do once again. If you land on the pavement there, you're not going to get it. You need to angle the bike very specifically in order to get that one on the stairs, and there's no aftertouch in this game like there is in GTA 5, so essentially where you jump is, you know, that your fate is sealed as soon as you do that. Jump number 9, train station in El Corona. This is one you've probably seen playing through the game casually. You simply land on this structure, and there you go, easy $500 in your pocket. Jump number 10 is off a bridge next to the railway tracks. Essentially the point of this one is to land in the middle of the intersection. Another one which is very strict on where your landing zone is, although this one isn't too difficult to get. And of course balls will shoot at you because they're ballers, so let's shoot them. Oh wait, censorship. Anyways, jump number 11, East Los Santos, off some stairs and essentially clear the parking lot. Another pretty straightforward jump to do, not too far away from the NRG spawn as well, so if you want to do this in the most time effective way, make sure to do it. Of course, I'm showing this off in the order that GTA series videos would show off, so if you want a better idea of where some of these jumps are, that's a good video to consult. Jump number 12, East Los Santos. You need a really good run here because essentially you're going to use these stairs to clear the basketball courts, which Jeffrey would eventually run to if you let him run far enough in the mission OG Loke. So pretty simple one, but definitely do need a good run up, and you need to make sure you also have a clear path to that one. Jump number 13 is off some walkway stairs near a railway, another one that you might have seen casually. Simply jump off here and for style points do exactly as I do and land on some ballers. Boom. That felt oddly satisfying after the amount of pain they've caused me through some of these side missions, let me tell you. Jump number 14 is in East Los Santos near the Burning Desire building. You essentially hit the stairs and land in the Here We Go Again alleyway. Or, well, not quite, you land on the railroad and then get forced into the Here We Go Again alleyway. But, yeah, you get the point. That's another pretty easy one. Jump number 15, don't do this. That's what happens if you don't quite hit that one right. Yeah, jump number 15, quite lethal, it has to be said. So, let's see how you actually do it. Los Flores near tag 10, make sure you have a little bit of a wheelie going up, because if you hit the front wheel straight into it, you'll do what I did on that first attempt and fall straight off. You need a little bit of bike angle, just to lift the front wheel up enough, just to get the rear wheels hit the end of the wall. And after that, it's a pretty simple job, as long as you do not fall off. Jump number 16 is at the Mulholland intersection, another one you may have seen casually. You simply use the top ramp to do an absolutely unspectacular jump. You'd think Mulholland intersection, you could do some crazy X Games stuff here. No, you're just going to land on the alternative end. Yeah, I mean, you have to go the opposite way to the rest of the traffic. I guess that's something mental. I've got no idea. That's a loud motorcycle. Jump number 17, Mulholland intersection down below. Use this ramp to jump into the car park. One that's actually pretty well hidden, yeah, it has to be said. And essentially, you're landing roughly where the Majestic spawns. So make sure to crash into that on your way down. I'm sure you will by accident. Jump number 18 is the exact opposite to jump number 16, although the one thing that they do share in common is the fact that you also do an unspectacular. Yeah, it's just jump 16 but on the other side of the road with the other ramp. It's really weird that you go the wrong way to trafficking that one and don't like jump off and do something cool, but that's the way they've done it. Jump number 19 is in Storm Drain. Use this tiny little ramp. You definitely need a bike for that one to essentially jump into Commerce. Not massively difficult. Make sure to hit a pedestrian's car on the way out so they chase you around with a baseball bat. Okay, jump number 20. This is also a cunt. At the conference centre, use the stairs to jump onto the next shop. This one is not so much a cunt because of the actual jump. It's more people getting in your way. Traffic is really nasty around there. They'll essentially all turn right with no rhyme or reason, so expect to get knocked off your bike a lot. Again, keep an eye on that health bar. Jump number 21 is in Market. Use these stairs here to essentially jump onto the main street. Pretty simple jump. One that is quite out of the way though, so you might have never seen it before. But essentially you're landing where the traffic comes from, and that guy does not care that a bike just landed on his perennial. If I drove a perennial, I wouldn't either. Jump number 22 is this one here in the beach area. Simply jump from one side of the pier to the other. Pretty, well, I say pier, sort of this walkway, boardwalk thing. It's not a pier, but you get what I mean. It's not a very hard jump, that one. Pretty straightforward. Jump number 23 is in Rodeo. Make sure to use this dirt mound here to essentially jump onto the roadway of the pier. Again, pretty straightforward. Simple one right there. Excuse me. Yeah. Pretty straightforward, nothing really to say about that one. Actually a lot simpler than you'd think considering what you're hitting. And jump number 24, awkward to hit, awkward to land. It's in Vinewood. You essentially have to hit this slightly raised piece of concrete and land directly where I land. This one took an awful lot of time. Absolute nightmare to do, it has to be said. Yeah, not a fun jump. So Essentially, as you can see here, just confirming 24 out of 70 jumps. We'll address the rest of them as we get into those areas. But for now, remind yourself that unique stunt jumps are entirely optional and you don't have to do them 100% completion, and I absolutely do not recommend them. But I hope this video was useful if you do decide to go for them. Thank you all very much for watching. Next time I'm going to be taking a look at our final activity here in Los Santos for now, as we take a look at 8-track. Join us for that. Until then, farewell.
Speeding all around. The naked 47 got the power and it's bound to move any mother that gets in my way. Just another power machine on the freeway. Riding with me, there's my MC homeboy. Knowing the rules ain't part of his program. Finding the right way around this map might be pretty hard cause he's fucked on crack. Gee, Grand Theft Auto.